Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a first perspective on things and how we see them. And today should be a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, yesterday, I came across a post from Instagram, right? And in this post, I believe it was shared by, it was by the Bleacher Report, right? So they put up a post. Now, as you guys know, Dwyane Wade is getting ready to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I think he's tapped Allen Iverson to be the person to induct him into the Hall. Now, what do we know about Dwyane Wade? Dwyane Wade was drafted by the Miami Heat. When he got there, I believe he was the 5th pick. And when he got there, you could tell that Dwyane Wade had a chip on his shoulder. Because during that draft class, it had Carmelo Anthony, it had Lebron James. No one was really paying any attention to Dwyane Wade. And I think Dwyane Wade took that as a slight, and he made it his objective to go out there and absolutely dominate, his first year in the NBA. And when he did that, he was absolutely sensational. Dwyane Wade, as a matter of fact, him and Carmelo Anthony, when you compare that trio, that famous 2003 draft class, him and Carmelo Anthony were actually the first two players in terms of that trio that actually hit the ground running. And they were actually winning games because Dwyane Wade really know how to win games. He was clutch. He was electrifying. And his first year in the NBA, he averaged 16.2 points per game while getting you 1.4 steals, 4.5 assists, and 4 rebounds a game. That was in his first season. Within within 3 seasons, he had already won the championship. Dwyane Wade. His second year with Miami, he averaged 24 points a game. Think about it. His scoring average went up by 8 points. Second year, he got 1.1 blocks per game from 0.6, and Dwyane Wade leads all guards for blocks in all time. He got 1.6 steals per game. He got 6.8 rebounds. And the season after that, he was averaging 27, 1.9 steals, 0.8 in blocks as a guard, getting you 6.7 assists, 5.7 rebounds. And it was just an uptick from there, right? And he was absolutely sensational. Then he went to the finals. In that year, during the playoffs, when he won the championship in his third season in the NBA, Dwyane Wade averaged 28 points per game, 28.4 points per game, 1.1 blocks per game, 2.2 steals per game, with 5.7 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 80% shooting from the free throw line, 37.8% shooting from the three, and he shot 49.7% from the field for the entire playoffs. And that's when they started calling it Wade County, right? So he played the vast majority of his career with the Miami Heat. I think he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. The first 15 years of Dwyane Wade's career, if I'm doing this numbers correctly, he was a Miami Heat. Now, why are we bringing this up? As I mentioned before, he's going to be, they're going to be inducting him. So in this post that I saw, it had a quote on the image. And the image, it read, Dwyane Wade is the greatest player that ever played for the Heat. And that's not an insult to LeBron James. The moment I heard that, I actually put up a poll on the channel that we're going to get to a little bit later. But then I came across an article from SI Fan Nation that I want to quickly read. It says, Pat Riley calls Dwyane Wade the greatest player in Miami Heat history. Continues on. Miami Heat legend Dwyane Wade will be inducted into the Hall of Fame Saturday night. Many have praised Wade, including President Pat Riley, who was the coach in the franchise's first championship. As a Heat player, Dwyane Wade is the greatest player to ever put on a uniform, Riley said. Over the body of work over 17 years here in Miami, Dwyane's the greatest player who ever played for the Heat, Riley said, and that's not an insult to LeBron James. So, when we heard that news, we put up a poll on our channel. And the poll read, do you agree with Pat Riley saying Dwyane Wade is the greatest player to play for the Heat. In about 13 hours, and it's dependent on when you see this particular show here, that poll generated about 13,000 votes. Of the 13,000 voters, 79% of them said yes. And then I started going through the comments, and then it became a no-brainer. Most people were like, why is this even a question? How is this even so? What are we even discussing here, right? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? And to me, I had a bit of a mixed reaction for a few reasons. Number one, though, I'm happy that Dwyane Wade is getting his proper respect, because Dwyane Wade was one of the coldest NBA players of all time. One of the top 4 guards in NBA history. Dwyane Wade is. You got Michael Jordan, you got Kobe Bryant, you got Jerry West, and you got Dwyane Wade. Some people got Dwyane Wade 3 all time behind Kobe and Jordan. Dwyane Wade was that bad of a boy. He was a problem for anybody playing in the NBA. Go look at his numbers. Go look at his games. Go look at his highlights. Dwyane Wade was an absolute monster. So I'm happy that Dwyane Wade is finally getting some proper respect. But back to Pat Riley's quote. I had to think about it, right? I had to think about it. Not initially when he said it, I said, is Dwyane Wade the greatest player? Like that's a Heat player? I said yes, but LeBron James is too a hell of a player. LeBron James is ranked higher than Dwyane Wade all time. LeBron James is the better overall player. But then as I started going back through the numbers and also looking at his tenure, I think Pat Riley's on the money. I think he's on the money. Because if you look at the amount of time he played for the organization, you look at the numbers that he put up, you look at the championship that he won as a solo star, you factor all those things together, I think he's on the money. And if you look at LeBron, for example, and you look at him with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you look at all of the years he spent in the championship that he won. Now imagine if they brought a Michael Jordan to play with LeBron, and Jordan wins 2 championships and 2 finals MVPs, but he's only there for about 4 years. Are we going to say that Michael Jordan was the greatest player to ever play for that, or are we going to say LeBron because of the body of work that he has with that team? And I think that's probably what Pat Riley was saying there, right? I had to really think about it. Some people thought it was a no-brainer, and a lot of people thought this, but I had to think a little bit deeper. And I then begin to say, okay, now I understand what Pat Riley's saying. When you take the full body of work, you look at the caliber of player, you look at the numbers he was putting up, I think it's easy to say that Pat Riley was correct with this one. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think about what Pat Riley had to say? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.